3 short Dragon Ball What Ifs requested by viewers here. First is from Chaos Cateriano 7 on what if Cabba attained Super Saiyan early, doing so about a month before the Universe Tournament, accidentally, when focusing his ki around his back during his training. Vegeta still tutors him and helps him achieve Super Saiyan 2, but any further is beyond Cabba's ability at the moment, with Vegeta ending the fight as usual. When preparing for the Tournament of Power, Cabba's tutelage allows Caulifla to attain Super Saiyan 2 very quickly. Though an extra form isn't enough to change Cabba's chances, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla is too much for Gohan to catch up to, and he's quickly knocked out. Kefla then challenges both Goku and Vegeta, where even Vegeta evolving his blue form can't compete with her. Seeing the issue this proves, Roshi assists Goku in achieving Ultra Instinct Sign, which manages to defeat Kefla through his better reactions. The rest of the team having to deal with Jiren causes him to knock out both Vegeta and Frieza, while 17 hides through his fake self-destruction. Goku focusing enough to fully unlock Ultra Instinct, with Jiren not having the time to adapt to it and be defeated. The events of Super go as usual, at least while the other universes remain away from the plot. It's here we see, despite how far Cabba's power is to matching the more relevant characters, the effect he could have, if more prepared, would make the manga version of the Tournament of Power far more intense for Universe 7. Next, from Stephen Quinn, is what if Jackie Chun had to put Ozaru Goku down, taking the measure before anyone has time to mention the moon. Goku is offered a posthumous championship title from Jackie breaking the rules, and Roshi's guild has him tell Kuririn and the rest to gather the Dragon Balls to revive Goku. With this, they quickly get involved in fighting the Red Ribbon Army, and Roshi carries them through Muscle Tower and General Blue, who fails to escape the cave when facing Roshi, Kuririn and Yamcha at once. When Tao Pai Pai attacks them, Roshi brings out his max power, and, though too slow to attack properly without mastering it to the same extent as in Super, he uses the Bankoku Bikurisho until Pai Pai relents and says he'll make an exception to his rule out of respect for his brother's rival, and goes to tell Red as much, only to compromise that he'll get rid of the students and take the Dragon Ball once his clothes are fixed, when he knows he can at least knock out Roshi before he can use his max power form. Knowing Tao Pai Pai may come back, Roshi orders Kuririn and Yamcha to try learning from Kadin, though Yamcha has yet become capable of climbing up. Kuririn's motivation is just enough to push him up there, but still takes longer than Goku to attain the Chosei Suite. In the meantime, Pai Pai knocks Roshi out and puts an end to both Yamcha and Appa. Once Kuririn finishes his Shugyo, he uses the capsule plane Yamcha had on him to get to the Red Ribbon base for revenge, but the combined forces of Tao Pai Pai and Black's battle jacket have Kuririn fall too. Roshi then secludes himself to try and retain his prime strength to revive his students. Meanwhile, Black is unable to find the last Dragon Ball, while Pilaf tries to find Piccolo Daimao when knowing he can't defeat the Red Ribbon Army. It's after 3 years that Roshi views himself as capable of defeating the Red Ribbon, and does so easily. Meanwhile, Tao Pai Pai's contract having ended has him help tutor Tenshinhan and Chaozu, who face no challenge physically or morally at the Tenkaichi Budokai. It's around this time that Roshi goes to Baba and defeats her fighters quickly to find where the last Dragon Ball is, and heads to Pilaf's airship, only to realize too late Piccolo Daimao is there. Roshi falls, and Piccolo's youth is restored far quicker. Tambourine is dealt with by Tenshinhan, and the Suru group head to the mountains in order to prepare Tenshinhan to be capable of stopping him. Doing so 3 years later, nobody is prepared for Raditz, who wipes out most of humanity until Gero is forced to unleash still defective 13, who manages to defeat Raditz. When Gero convinces him Raditz is in the way of his programming before Gero deactivates him, Vegeta doesn't care about Earth without the Dragon Balls, and nothing stops 17 and 18 from being unleashed years later and ravage what remains of humanity. humanity until Cell absorbs them, only to be trapped on Earth without Frieza's cells and becomes empty enough to submit when Babidi takes control of him, as this becomes a typical Babidi win scenario. From this, we see the dire consequences of removing Goku and the importance of not making a rash judgment. Finally, from Jared, is what if Goku Black showed up when Trunks fought 17 and 18. Black arrives in age 785, just before Trunks arrives to destroy the twins, and begins his attack in the same city. Black immediately destroys 17 and 18, while Trunks barely escapes with the Taioken. And knowing how far above him Black is, as he focuses on preparing to face him one day, as Beerus is still around, Black's concerns about him have Zamasu use the Kaikai to quickly execute Shin, and go about with the Zero Mortal plan for other universes of this timeline, saving Trunks for now as a means for Black Saiyan instincts to kick in against an opponent. Trunks tries to go back to the past 3 years later, but Black's intervention gives Cell the opportunity he needs to go back himself to age 770, while Trunks is left with no opportunity to escape, and is disposed of when Black gets bored of him. As for Cell, the time machine appearing at Capsule Corporation causes him to quickly be blasted into nothing by Vegeta. Though Cell's fate doesn't create a paradox to make this a separate timeline, Black travelling to a parallel world when both History 1 and 2 progressed at the same rate does do so, from him arriving early, Zamasu making him aware of this and surveying the other timelines to see there's a similar one with an older version of Trunks, and that was Beerus having been dealt with too, this becoming their next target, as the future Trunks arc unfolds the same after this additional prologue, aside from Babidi being unopposed in this ruined timeline. It's here we see the importance of adhering to the rules Dragon Ball set up with its time travel, with Black needing more than arriving earlier to have better success in the Zero Mortal plan. Thank you for having watched through these what ifs. Request your own, subscribe for more, and check out older ones. With that, see you next time.